warm welcome to Keeping It Real by Housing.com, a podcast where we dive deep into the world of real estate, track trends, and explore insights in conversation with experts. I'm your host, Gaurav Chaudhary. In this episode, we're going to turn the lens on Bengaluru. There's a lot happening in Bengaluru. It's buzzing, it's very busy, and it continues to remain a buyer's paradise. The boom continues forever, as if and how. From rental income to emerging hotspots to infrastructure developments and all of these, we are going to touch much more than these and many more aspects too. To talk about all of these, I have with me an expert who tracked these like the back of her palm. I have with me Jayashree Kurup, Director, Real Estate and Cities at Wordmeister Editorial Services LLP. Hello and a warm welcome, Jayashree, to the show. Delighted to have you.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Let's start off with a very fundamental question, very basic too, for the benefit of our listeners and for my own understanding too. It's about Bangalore, the real estate space and the landscape in Bengaluru, and what's in it for the future. If I may to ask you that, what's in store for the Bengaluru real estate industry? What would your response be?
The last 20 years I've been answering this question. What's in store for it in the future? Bangalore's future is today, it's tomorrow, and it's, I think, for a long time to come. And let me just tell you why. Bangalore is driven by jobs. First, it was the big PSUs that were there in the 70s and 80s, but it was considered a retirement paradise. But once IT discovered Bengaluru, there has been no looking back, right? The ITPL in Whitefield was the first, and now we've got the ORR, which is completely littered with IT infrastructure. And because people from around the country not only come there because they get the jobs, but it is the most aspirational city in the country.
Right.
Everybody wants to be there. It's got good weather, it's got great jobs, it's got a great lifestyle, and every brand worth its salt is in Bangalore. So it makes that city very vibrant and attractive to young people.
Jayashree, you said it very right and put it very, very appropriately in a very one-sentence descriptor kind, is that Bengaluru was about yesterday, it's about today, and it's about tomorrow. Now, let's talk a little bit about today and tomorrow, maybe leaning more towards the tomorrow. Which are the emerging new hotspots in Bengaluru? As you said, we keep on seeing, Whitefield was one at one point in time, now we have ORR, etc., etc. In the coming years, which are the new hotspots that you see emerging in Bengaluru and why?
See, first, I think right now, Bengaluru and its surroundings and is the hottest part of Bangalore. The entire ORR it's really hot. But I see a lot moving towards North Bangalore. One, the airport is very close by, and there's a lot more to be done with the airport. The airport is evolving as we speak. And also, this side of the airport and beyond, there is so much land. It was all agricultural, right? And there's a lot of development happening there. Developers have got very large land banks, and any development in Bangalore is actually driven by the commercial development.
Right.
And if you see an IT SEZ coming that side, that is where the natural movement of people will be. Having said that, I think in South Bangalore, places like Bannevrata Road and Kanakpura Road, which was driven by educational and so on, you see some IT infrastructure moving that side also, and the metro has come there. Now, I feel that though it's very early to say how the metro will impact Bangalore, going by the Delhi example, and Bangalore is a very close second to that, I think that Bangalore's movement will follow the metro. And South Bangalore, North Bangalore will both be connected well by the metro. So I see the future of Bangalore following its metro.
Jayashree, one question that really comes to mind, and Bengaluru remains a forever market, as we have discussed. What is the secret to Bengaluru's success? Why does the real estate sector in Bengaluru remain forever vibrant, and what's driving this?
I think it's the quality of construction in the city, the quality of developers in the city, past, current, maybe in the future as well. Because it's a very structured market. If you look at big names that have come out of Bengaluru, which have become national brands like Prestige, Purvankara, Shobha, Adarsh, and another tier that evolved after that, Casa Grande, Asumadhura, Assets, many, and I can just go on and on about the number of developers who have focused on quality, on the quality of planning and the quality of execution of infrastructure. And the execution infrastructure in terms of factories to create their, the precast elements, and to actually focus on the quality of putting together the elements on the site is very high. So I think across the country, I think it's one of the finest quality of infrastructure, real estate infrastructure.
And another key marker, if I may so, a primary marker of demand of real estate by end users is also the rental income. We have seen areas, particularly and periods, particularly in the NCR area, where a large, supply is being created, but the rental income wasn't keeping pace. Now, of course, things have changed significantly. What's the scene in Bangalore? And rental income in Bengaluru remains a very high point, isn't it? And why is that? Is it because it's attracting more people so far as jobs are concerned, and that is why there remains rental income remains a very, very important it's a driver of real estate as an asset class too.
The rental market of Bangalore has always been robust because you have people coming from all over the country and abroad coming to stay there, right? If once you come into a new city, you don't immediately purchase a property. You try out which part of the city you like, where would you like to stay, and so on. So you will go for rental properties. And because of the large stock of properties that was available, people preferred to stay on rent. If they come for 3 months, suppose you're in a TCS, for instance, you come for 3 months, you want to move on, the 3 years you want to move on to another city, rather than buy, many people prefer to stay, and they get good rental allowances from the organizations.
Right.
So this was one of the main reasons why Bengaluru's rental market was good. Just after COVID, when everybody had gone away and suddenly come back, landlords got greedy. They increased the rent by double, triple rents. I mean, it was completely unaffordable rental markets till people protested and said, I'm not staying with you. And people started moving to the suburbs and periphery.
Absolutely.
That's when the landlords saw reason. I think today the market has cooled down significantly. The rental markets have cooled down significantly. But having said that, because of the high demand, now it is a moderated market. And I think you get up to between 3 and 6% rental returns, even for premium property.
Right.
That's a really good return.
Absolutely.
And therefore, people buy properties to stay, they buy properties to invest, and for regular rental income while you wait for the leverage value to grow.
Absolutely. In many ways, Bengaluru is also a buyer's paradise. What is a good time to invest in property in Bengaluru, or it's always a forever good opportunity as an investment asset class so far as real estate?
My advice to people is, if you're buying a property to stay in, every time is a good time. Don't time the market if you want to stay there, because the property that you want to buy today may not be available and you may have to settle for a different one. But if you are coming in as an investor, be unemotional about that investment. Check out what the yields are,
Right.
and buy where the yields are. I would, though right now even premium property is yielding very good results, I think the best returns out of a property investment is in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment. But Bangalore, I've seen that the studio apartments, it's the only city in the country where studio apartments have started giving good yields.
Jayashree, you did talk about the positive impact of infrastructure development and urban development, where many areas are now getting accessible because of metro and other urban transport connectivity. What is the future of Bengaluru's infrastructure? Since someone who has been tracking this sector for decades now, which are the new areas that you see emerging as future hotspots in Bengaluru because of expansion of infrastructure? And what is the kind of infrastructure expansion that you foresee in Bengaluru?
See, first of all, Bengaluru needs to finish the projects that it starts.
Right.
If the Ejipura flyover in Koramangala is a classic case, such a critical infrastructure piece, and it hasn't been completed for the last 10 years or so.
Right.
So when that happens, and that's very similar to what happened in Bombay. If you remember, Bombay, for a long time, infrastructure projects used to just keep going on and never seeing light of day. But the minute Bombay started finishing its infrastructure, the city suddenly started moving in different directions to what it was historically. I see the same happening in Bengaluru. I think the new 10,000 odd crores that have been sanctioned, the government is appraised of it. I mean, around the world, people know what a mess Bengaluru's traffic is. So I think there are a lot of the metro has to actually take off. Only the Whitefield line, I think the green line and the yellow line or something has started. But I think it actually needs to finish the metro projects with haste, because that city is crumbling under its road infrastructure. And the roads, they have white topped certain roads. I think they have given a lot more money for white topping of more roads, which white topping is a good principally it's very good for cities, because you create utility tunnels under the roads, which means that you don't have to keep breaking the roads. You can access the tunnels and correct the infrastructure. So that is good. Water, power, sewer drainage, power lines, and so on. But the more important thing is that you have to make, it's a city where people are very internationally traveled. You need sidewalks, you need cycling tracks, you need these things. And right now, Bengaluru has none of this. So if you ask me which direction it's moving in, whichever place gets its act together first, people will gravitate towards that, because it's a city with an international lifestyle and very, very old infrastructure.
It does have a lot of potential, and that needs no emphasis. Having said that, however, final question. We did talk about the potential and the expansion, new hotspots. What are the challenges? If you juxtapose the challenges with opportunities, what would they be? What are the challenges and what are the opportunities in the real estate?
Challenges are basically traffic and anything to do with the roads and moving across the city. Otherwise, the city is very well sorted. It has micro markets where if you stay in Whitefield, you can live, get entertained, shop, everything in Whitefield. There are places where you can, they are actually big, huge micro markets in themselves. But going from one place to another is still very, very challenging. And the other big thing is that it is a city that receives rain for 6 to 7 months in a year. And it was a city of lakes. It's lost most of its lakes. Unless we restore the Rajakaluways and the lakes, which act as sponges when there's excess water, you're already seeing this week we saw the largest volume of rain falling within 2-3 hours, right? So you have to make sure that that city can absorb its water and preserve and protect it.
Thank you, Jayashree, for taking the time out and sharing your deep insights and perspective, and taking your time out and dropping by to have this conversation with us. Delighted to have you. So that's it from us for this episode of Keeping It Real by Housing.com, where we keep it real always. Whether you're a pro or a beginner, this is the destination to be if you want to know anything about what's happening inside India's real estate industry and landscape. You can catch the episode on Housing.com, on the Housing.com app, on the YouTube channel of Housing.com, on Earshot.in, on Spotify.com, on Apple Podcasts, on JioSaavn, and a host of other podcast streaming platforms and directories. Take care and stay safe.